Yeah.
This is the thing with me and my relapse. I'm not picturing it like I'm going to just have a wine with this dinner and I'm going to see how I do. I am going to buy a bottle of El Humidor Gold and I'm going to drink it straight. Like, I already know that's how I would do it. So I know that my relapse will take me to a hospital.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember one time taking you to like a doctor at college. It was like, and like the doctor told me that I should get you some alcohol because
Interesting.
because like you know,
Dirty gym clothes.
tapering down and whatnot, but I was pissed at you, so I got you something that I got you vodka or something, like some cheap vodka, because I was like, I know you want tequila, I'm not going to get you tequila.
What a great fuck you.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
That is such a great fuck you.
I've not heard this story yet.
Okay, so for context here, we have Chloe in the studio and Andrew, and Chloe is in recovery. And Andrew got to witness both sides, the addiction and the recovery, right? So
That's
you
right,
guys were together, or
Yeah.
why don't you describe your relationship to everybody so that before we get into these great stories?
Sure.
The relationship today?
No, what it was, and then
Okay.
yeah, I guess what it is today.
It was love at first sight, honestly.
Yeah.
I was crazy about you, like, pretty instantly.
Yeah.
We met at like a wedding function. So I was going to be maid of honor, then demoted to bridesmaid because I could not stop drinking. But I was in the wedding party for Danielle, who's now his sister-in-law.
It's true. Yeah.
And
Still. Yeah.
Yeah, still. And I remember walking up to Andrew after like an engagement party at a house, all of the events that you have leading up. And he just felt comfortable and he felt kind. And I felt really out of place because I was already dealing with a lot of shame over my using, but I wasn't admitting that yet. And so I just like felt like I just wanted to be around this human. And then every time I saw him at the subsequent events, I was like, oh, good, that person is there. I really need to like be near them because the bridesmaids, I felt so isolated and alone. And at one point, I think it was on the day of the wedding, I finally get around to being like, he's holding my snack plate for me because he's a gentleman while we take pictures. And I'm like, so how do you know the people?
Oh, yeah.
How are you associated with the wedding? And he's like, Groom's my brother. This is like Chloe already so narcissistic, insulated, don't care about anything. Didn't even notice. That makes sense to me.
And then I remember, did we dance or like I don't think we danced like that night, but I remember you were sticking around after, and I came over and like asked, and like I know like I was like waiting for an opportunity. I had my eye on you, you know, for a lot of the night, and I went over. And at the end the night, you were like picking flowers off centerpieces.
That's about right. Yeah, I'm taking them home. They're like, just let these beautiful flowers go.
Yeah.
This was a Jewish wedding. There was a lot of money. Like these flowers were
You're
no
the
joke.
best. You're the best.
I made new arrangements when I got home.
And then I asked if you wanted to go for another drink, and we went to Hemingway's.
Yeah. On Cumberland.
And then after Hemingway's, we
Sat on that big rock.
Sat on that big rock until like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Kind of something like that.
And I was like, I see you. I thought that his date to the wedding was his girlfriend and that he was being a bit of a player. I didn't fully trust, but they were just friends.
Yeah.
So on this rock, I was like, I know what you're up to, and I'm not going to kiss you, and I'm not going to blah, blah. But then we did, and I was just like, that was it. But yeah.
So you called him out for playing?
Yeah, I was like, what's the deal there? But I don't know. Andrew's an honest person. And I think you can relate to this, Anthony. It's like tough to bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah.
So when you just kind of are met with someone who's like so openly, vulnerably like, no, that's my friend and I really like you. Would you like to spend time?
There's no story.
And you go,
yeah.
fuck, that's not a game.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I would. But also like, I know so much now and back then I didn't. But the self-loathing that existed at the time, it's like, no wonder I would be so like, yeah, right. Like, I don't believe it.
This is too good to be true.
Exactly.
I don't deserve this.
Yeah,
almost.
well, already thinking those thoughts. I'm
I
at
get
a
that.
wedding where I was supposed to be maid of honor, so I'm feeling pretty dishonorable, and like this incredible man is just being nice.
And you were in later, like you were in like quite the dark place, like before, like around that time.
That's right. Yeah.
So did you know already that she had been struggling with substances?
No. So, we had actually like a nice little cute thing, which was that I sent her like this message. I got her number. I sent her this message, and like getting no response all day, and then like I'm like, I think it's I was like freaking out. I was like, I guess maybe I misread the entire situation, kind of thing. And I eventually texted like her. It's like, hey, just seeing if you got the like, I don't know if you're not feeling it, and not feeling it or whatever, and
Yeah.
and I misread things, but I didn't want to, leave it to chance. And you were like, oh my God, I've been waiting for.
I had been going out of my mind because
Yeah.
no message had come through.
Yeah.
So I was on the other side going the exact same thought. Oh my God, it was all in my head. I fucking knew it. This is what I really deserve. Men are dogs. But all the time it was right there.
But then, anyways, we started, I didn't realize like right away, why she was at her parents' place, and we, spent I basically like lived there for like.
My mom immediately had this trip to California. I
Yeah.
just met this guy. I was like, do you want to come and stay here?
Yeah.
So it's
Good
me and
alcoholic
him in the
fashion.
house.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. All in, all at once, right away.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, I was kind of open with that as well. I mean, frankly, like in my life, I was dealing with like my own kind of depression and my own kind of mental health, like kind of struggles as well. And so like, this was like the bright kind of thing in my life at the time. And we were like partying, and I was, I was like no stranger to partying like as well. And then so we're like her parents are on this trip, and like we have the house to ourselves and things are great and fine. It only when her parents came back.
Yeah.
That did things start to notice, because of the family dynamic, all the internal like drama and dynamics, like in like mother daughter dynamics, and like just toxic, unhealthy kind of patterns that they were in. Like I kind of see it a lot clearer. And then also like when like I was partying a lot, which at a time then I had to not party because I had to work, and then she kept going, and then that was like also so like you add stress to a situation, and then like all the like a lot of the unhealthy dynamics started to come about.
Yeah. And this is like, at this point in my life, I can remember so well how the way I felt about me and in my family dynamic was I was a total victim. I had so much anger. I had all this understanding all of a sudden of all the ways they'd manipulated me and bullied me and been so inappropriate. But I hadn't even considered humility or even like looking at my side of anything. Yeah, no way, was not there yet. This alcoholic was ready to like still tear the world up. And so what Andrew witnessed was just a lot of like rage. And then like my mom does have her own behaviors that are triggering. And anytime she'd do that, I would look at that and go, see what I mean? See, it's there. It's so real.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. And like he's not being a bad person by being like, oh yeah, I see it, because he did. But it's also like, I don't know if I can say, but little did I know, he was just like giving fuel to this fire that was like, that's right, I knew it. And now I found someone to validate all this thing I've been feeling. Yeah.
And I mean, any guy would in that situation, you want her to like you at that point. You're like,
I want her to like, and by that point, like when I start seeing the dynamic, I also see your adding to it. Like it takes like one dinner before like you and your mom have like an all out screaming match. And like, I'm trying to be the peacemaker, as that I don't know, it's like, and that's
stressful.
And well, yeah, of course it's stressful, but yeah, like I saw like, I don't know, I was just trying to, it's like, okay, maybe, all right, maybe, I don't know, I was in a situation that I wasn't really like ready for, or wasn't really capable of managing, like but I didn't know that I wasn't capable of managing it very well. So I was just like, had an over confidence in my ability to like help the situation or to manage the situation. And then, and that kept me going as well. And then also like the more I realized like the depth of kind of what you were struggling with, like the darkness, and then also like once I'm finding out like how much you're drinking, which like is like a large which was quite a large amount, like I don't know, I felt like I could help. Yeah. I felt like it would be. I felt like I can't, like I'm in a unique position in this person's life that can help in some way, or that's what I thought. And so like I thought it was responsibility to help in that situation. And then I'm not sure what led to like that first conversation about you not having to like cut to not drink, like, or like that, like this was a problem.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like it wasn't like, you know, there's like going out and partying drunk, and then there was like blackout and not talking, not being cogent, not being clear at all, and like then and like the meanness that came out and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, this is a problem, and like I was trying to like talk through some of like the mental health, like the like unhealthy dynamic stuff of it, parts of it, but I think at some point I realized that the alcohol, like, I don't know, you'd have like long discussions and that would all go to waste, or at least seem, because there's no memory of it the next day, and kind of.
So this sort of like high resolve in the moment of like, I'm going to change, I'm going to do better, or like this is becoming a problem, and then just forgetting everything that's happened. And
then there was like, I think for also, I kind of became this person for you that like this, I was like this black and white, like I was either a saint, like an angel that came to the, or I was like the devil and like the, like, you know, specifically cruel, and the, you know, the target of that. So like I saw that and yeah, like, I don't know, it became like a somewhat of like an emergency situation for me, not like in like an acute thing, but like this whole thing is like an emergency situation, and I like kind of took it on myself to kind of help, I don't know, I hadn't felt like I'm sure part of it is like the dramatic stakes that were involved as well, but there was love like there that like I hadn't felt like before, which is a very overwhelming thing as well. So it was a lot of stuff going on at the.
Yeah.
But do you remember what like? Do you remember like when we or you decided that we should start like dealing with this alcohol thing?
Here's what I remember. Oh, sorry. So one, I want to say, and this is not in any attempt to save my own hide, but just as like kind of interesting. I definitely remember, I have flashbacks of moments when I am like berating you. I'm like standing over you. I'm saying awful things. And I'm like putting chairs in front of your room so you can't leave. I'm like doing all of this really messed up, abusive, creepy stuff. But I can never remember the train of thought that brought me to the part where you were a monster. I can remember the part that brings me to the part where you're an angel, no problem. But for some reason, when you say that that's how I saw you, I take you at your word for sure. Yeah. But I'm like, honest to God, of all the people I was so mean to when I was drunk, I cannot remember what my brain managed to come up with to convince me in that moment that you were the devil. But back to the point. Interesting. Yeah. Back to the point. I remember one time it just, you know, the amount just got to be too much. I still don't have any understanding of how withdrawal works, but it's like every once in a while, and this was the beginning of it becoming shorter and shorter windows between like starting again and getting to this point of just like throwing up, just cannot stop. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much stress. And I asked you at that apartment by, Spadina and whatever.
The boathouse
one that's actually like on an angle. Yeah. I asked you, like, you're like, do you want me to call 911? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And I went to the hospital. He stayed in my hospital bed with me, like, even though there's no room to do that, like, just like so much dedication and so much kindness, because it was the first time. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. And like, this is what I put everyone through, including the people at North York General who are like, you have like a frequent flyer card here, Chloe. We're not going to treat you the same way all the time. Yeah. But I think that happened. I'm super scared. You're super kind. I'd like to think that anything like that would teach anybody, but I don't understand this disease yet. I don't understand yet that it's not going to be enough to teach me, no matter how bad it is. But was it after that hospital visit? Because my next memory is you saying, listen, like, do you like living this way? I don't know how else to ask that. I'm not trying to judge you. This is just my memory where I'm on the floor of like that living room in the boathouse. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it is like exhausting, or what do you think? And and so you're like, why don't we do this? Why don't we just call women's college hospitals really nearby? Yeah. We'll just go in there and we'll ask them, like, would you be willing to do that? And I was like, Yeah, and you were like, and I tell people this story about how you were like, we can go to the LCBO after. Like, I'm not trying to tell you you have to stop drinking today.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk to someone? Would you like to change?
Yeah.
That's what. But what do you remember? Because I bet your memory's better than
No,
mine.
no. I mean, that's where my that's where my gap is. I remember
convenient.
I remember like the time in the boathouse where we had to call the hospital, but that was already after a point where we were kind of not where we had decided that you weren't drinking, that you were tapering down. I think that was like that was like a taper that was you tapered too much, or you went down to like and so you were getting like a withdrawal reaction, and that was like part of like you couldn't swallow.
Okay.
And so like you couldn't keep any liquids down. You couldn't get any liquids in, and that was like an emergency kind of situation. Yeah.
And then after that, because then there was this period of time, it was like 2 weeks where I'd stopped. We were in the boathouse, and then St. Patrick's Day came. And to this day, I tell people St. Patrick's Day was the hardest day to let go of all the holidays, of all the occasions to drink. For some reason, my ego, especially because I was in rehab on St. Patrick's Day, and it was one of those days we got a phone call from Art. So I called him, and I was just like the butterflies in my stomach thinking he's out partying. He's already met someone. He's having a good time. But it was St. Patrick's Day, and you're like, yeah, okay, if you don't drink, and this is like not anyone's fault in my opinion, because neither of us knew enough, but you're like, you can drink on St. Patrick's Day. Just don't drink till St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, okay. And then on St. Patrick's Day, I went and bought this like exquisite, cool ass looking bottle of tequila. And then I was just off to the races all over again. And that was my first taste of when you take a step back from this disease, whether it's 3 months or 30 years, when you go back to it, you will be right where you were. It will have progressed all along. I will end up in that hospital even faster. I will all like shut me down. I cannot ever access those party days again. And that's like one of the hardest things to accept as an alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first hospital experience, that it was so like, I was like, well, okay, I'm glad that this is over. Like, I'm glad that this
we've dealt with this. This is
this is the beginning, man.
Like, if I was only a witness to it, and like saw how horrible like this whole like withdrawal experience is and was, and if you had any of the effect like it like that it did on me, surely this will be it. This is the last.
It couldn't get worse.
It couldn't get worse.
You're a normal person who's like, who would want to do that again?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the biggest difference between alcoholism and non-alcoholics is like, wow, that was scary. I better not ever do that ever again.
Yeah.
For us, it's like, how do I get around this?
Yeah, how do I do it better next time?
It was I just mismanaged my limit.
I'm sure I can.
Maybe it was the vodka, not the tequila.
Yeah.
That was it. Right?
If I ate more.
Yeah, and that's what I have a friend that's like he's further like along than at that point, but like he's still doing the whole
experimenting.
Like well, look, like I really shouldn't, like, you know, like I'll keep an eye on it, like I'll do it, but then it always ends up poorly, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like what was great, what was, I mean, it seemed like a bad thing at the time, but was actually like one of her saving graces was that she would, whenever she started drinking, she would just end up in the hospital like 3 days later, either because the cops were called or
I got so sick.
Or you got so sick that you couldn't, there
wasn't anything else to do.
Yeah. And you were, and if you were, whenever you interacted with like an EMT or like a police, you were very belligerent with them.
No, me?
Yeah. But I remember one time she was at like, this was later on. This was like we had broken up, or we had, but she was at my place, and she was causing a scene, and we were like having a fight. I think this is maybe like some, not barricading the doors, but like I was hiding out from you in like in my room, and like you were like kind of on like a bit of a rampant. And anyways, I can't remember what ended up. I think you like, I can't remember why the cops were called. I think that you called them.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, take me away.
I think this was like you with an unreasonable confidence that they would have your back.
Oh my God, yes, that's me. That's me for sure. I remember someone being like, especially as I've met more alcoholics, I was like, I'm going to call my friends from rehab. Watch out.
They get me.
Yeah, exactly. You're in trouble now. But every time, and if they even picked up the phone, they'd be like, hi, Chloe. What's up? yeah, I'm not gonna help you. All right, bye. Like just like that, and I was like, okay, that's cool, bye.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, another one. Oh my god.
But yeah, I remember like they were taking you to like they were like I think they then got the paramedics there, and then they were taking you away, but you were like shit talking the police officers, and
Oh yeah.
I remember like seeing the police officers at the door after they'd already taken you into like the ambulance, and like it was like some people, you know, it's such a lovely day, you know, such a nice.
She said that?
No, the police
Yeah,
officer.
the guy,
It was like, yeah, you know, some people got a chip on their yeah, you know, something like
What are
that.
you going to do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? And it was
my
very
God.
sweet.
Oh,
What was your concept of addiction and alcoholism at this point?
that's a good question.
I think I knew that it was like usually a mask for some, like usually a solution to another problem. I think that was clear, and at that point, and I had done like a fair amount of research like into it I didn't realize like how persistent I definitely didn't realize how persistent it was. I don't know. I'm not really sure what my understanding of it at the time
like
was.
the reason I asked that is because like a lot of people, my wife included, when you don't understand it, my parents as well, when I first got sober, it's like you're just being stupid. That's kind of the first thought for a lot of people is like, just stop.
Yeah.
Look at your life. Can't you see what's going on? And it's almost like you're talking to two versions of her, right?
Yeah.
Like this Jekyll and Hyde where she wants to get her act together. She has all this pain and trauma that she's telling you. And then it's like right back to the Mr. Hyde.
So what I guess the thing that kind of triggered something there, the concept that I had, or the idea that I had in my head, was that there was a disconnect between what I called the morning version of Chloe
She loves talking
and,
about this
Yeah,
too.
the manager
the
thing.
evening like, and so like the evening Chloe like has, you know, like the morning Chloe like evening Chloe goes out, drinks too much, causes all this trouble for morning Chloe like makes all promises and makes all these things. I'm going to get better. I'm going to do this. Like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And then, but like the daytime happens and like, there's not a conversation. There's not a good connection between the morning and the evening, then the nighttime. And so the only way that the morning Chloe can talk to the nighttime Chloe is by fucking up the daytime Chloe, it's life to the point where like the nighttime Chloe like will actually be forced to stop or be forced to like acknowledge that something's fucked up. Like that's because the like, you know, like the night that was I felt like that was a good.
This
like,
is when I
analogy.
last recorded
Yeah, you
with
talked
you.
about this last time.
Yeah.
So
This is the guy. I talked about
Welcome.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only way that morning Chloe could communicate to this alcoholic version of herself was like, you know, the SOS was to like start self-sabotaging almost, right?
Yeah, well, so the nighttime can party, the nighttime can do things that like, you know, I'll stay, like, you know, just even like in terms of like less intense drinking, like, you know, like, I'll like the classics, just like, I'll stay for a few more drinks. Don't worry, like it's a tomorrow problem kind of thing.
Sweep it
like,
under the rug. Yeah.
and so like the morning version of you starts accumulating all these complaints, and it's like it tries to be a good soldier, but eventually like they're overwhelmed and they can't really like manage it, and so like I feel like there's like the failure to connect to that like nighttime, like the failure to connect actions to consequence, to like the actions to like the consequences, like leads to like the this kind of rebellion on the part of the morning like thing, which is like, I'm not going to do the thing in the morning. I'm not going to like struggle through this. I'm going to
Fine, I'll start fucking it up right away.
I'm going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where like the rebellion, like that rebellion comes in, and like that, like I'm going to fuck it up to the point where you can't ignore me anymore.
Yeah, and like we're not even gonna get to the nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck you up so good during the day.
And I don't know, like that got me thinking about like, you know, like doing nice things for yourself, like where you develop that connection between like I'm gonna do the laundry now even though I don't feel like it,
Because
or
morning.
because I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, that's nice. All my like, I don't have to stare at that laundry pile like anymore, like, or I don't have to do that. And so like that kind of connection, like that, like, you know, realizing that there's different parts of you that, and there's different, like you're, you know, and the relationship between the different versions of you, like, is like if you're in conflict with you're in conflict with yourself in like a major way like that, there's going to be problems of and I don't know, like my concept is like we are all like, you know, we're stressed, we take in stress and we break in different ways, but we break in the same like predictable ways. Like, or like, you know, for Chloe it was, you know, alcohol and earlier, you know, cocaine and stuff like that. And for me like it was a little bit that, but more so like I'll get like anxious and, you know, like anxiety and depression will be my, like, I'm more of like an internalized kind of like that's where I break. Like that's how I break, and it's not, and that's how, and your like alcohol and substances and, you know, like anger was how you broke. Like,
yeah, wow. And I guess what I'm thinking about is just reflecting on your immense capacity for compassion as someone who doesn't have alcoholism in their family, don't really know much about it, but here's this person, they're really struggling. And you can even see these separations of night Chloe and morning Chloe, and the only way they can communicate is, and meanwhile, I'm just like a tornado of chaos, not understanding fully how, because I love you, I still love you. And at the time I loved you then that in that fiercely deep way. And I would watch myself sneak alcohol in your apartment. I knew where it was hidden. You didn't know it was there. And it would feel awful. And that question of how can I do this to someone I love would come to my mind.
Yeah.
But it's like I never thought about making the relationships or being able to see it from like a compassionate point of view for myself.
Yeah.
I just sat there and was like, you know, I almost kind of loved it, right? When you'd fall asleep, I knew that it was hidden in that side table on my side, and how to open it quietly, how to tuck the can in just so it would be hidden if you immediately open the door, little crap like that. And I'd sip it and I'd look at you and I'd be like, God, oh well. Almost like, oh well. But then like, no one's there.
Well, I mean, like, I want to talk about that, but before that, I think, like you mentioned the compassion. It's not like it was totally. It was not like it was this pure compassion. Like I saw in you a dark, like I saw similar things in like I recognized myself in you in like a lot of ways, and like I saw like the reasoning and like the way that, you know, that your, you know, addict's mind kind of was like dealing with all this pain and this like disappointments and like and all these feelings. And I saw like a dark twist, a black, like a version of me that when if things got like worse in a drastic way, like I saw different versions of the same things that were in me. And I was like, and so like I think I also like saw, I don't know, I think that's kind of, I realized that like you're not like a separate thing that I can say like, oh no, you like that's not me. Like that's something else. Like I don't have to, like, it's like, oh, like I could end up in like as dark a scenario given the right environment and the right situation and like the and a lack of support and, you know, that kind of thing.
Thank you. It's hard not to compare ourselves to normal people. To be like, you're so fine and I'm so wrong, but
yeah,
it's ego. That's when you're thinking I'm special.
Well, I mean, remember like that
I mean, he wouldn't have talked like this at the time it was happening.
No. I am special.
Like my wife fucking hated me for a long time, right? And that's, how could you not, right?
Yeah.
You're 1 minute I'm crying on her arms and telling I don't want to live this way anymore.
Yeah.
And the next I'm out disappearing for 3 days. Like what? How do you deal with that? How do you love somebody like that, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult in the moment, you know. So what were some of the things that you did to try and help? And then ultimately, like, what did you learn, and how? And then what happened? I guess.
Well, I mean, I had some like positive experiences with psychedelics, like with and I did my research on that and I probably we probably did them to like an irresponsible degree, but I like it, but the intent was there to do it in like
healing way,
in a healing way, self-exploration kind of way. But yeah, that was part of it. And then
did you go to a retreat or something, or you just did it like in your apartment?
We just did it. Like I downloaded. I like had had some. I was doing a lot of research about it, at the time. We were just tried to do like nature things, and I tried to like music. Yeah, having some good there's a John Hopkins put out this like playlists of the music.
I think I listened to it on ketamine one time.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to activate it. It was, and
what did you learn? Yeah.
The thing is, there are certain revelations and things that came out of some of those trips that I still hold very dear today. So I am grateful, and I do think that psilocybin can work wonders on the mind. But I know that the last time, I think it was it ended up being, thanks to me, not that positive an experience. I brought up my mom again, and the thing of it was, I was sober. From alcohol and cocaine at the time we did those mushrooms, but my behavior was such that like Andrew had to ask me, he's like, have you been drinking? Because honestly, the way you're behaving right now, and like I remember being like a little disheartened that even mushrooms, if I'm not dealing with the stuff that's inside of me, it doesn't matter the substance, it's gonna bring out this angry, entitled, self-righteous person who just like one flick of the switch, one moment, one shroom too many, and I go click, and suddenly everyone is my enemy. And I know it, and it's so.
And then it also can like bring out this grandiosity kind of.
Oh yeah,
like
thing. Uber theatrical on mushrooms. Oh my god.
But yeah, what I mean, like I was how did I help? I organized. I did all the organizational things that was like so difficult. I made sure she would go to I would go with her to meetings at the Women's College Hospital.
Hooks me up with Alan. Hooks me up with Dr. Leese, who now is Dr. Dagger. Oh my gosh, took to the hospitals, number of hospital trips.
I remember once where you relapse, and like you were like, I don't know, this was probably close to but I remember like finding like you were like really drunk, and you were like off the grid, and I remember you were trying to walk on like a bus somewhere like in North York Center or something, or not North York Center, like you were somewhere like trying to find you like somewhere in the city, and it was raining and you were blackout, and like and then I'm not sure I'm sure, but the kind it also was. There's like there's a little bit of a bunker mentality that kind of comes up in that situation where you're like, she could, one day could be like, she could be like the most loving like person in the world. And then the next day, but the wrong thing set her off. Like it could be that. So you kind of get like, it's like you lose the feeling of safety.
You're walking on eggshells.
On eggshells and that. And then and then a lot of this is during COVID. So like, I'm basically like, I got nothing else going on. I'm like, let's like, what's the, how can I support like you, or like, how can I like, or like not even support, but like I'm my thought, like, because of like this, these like safety, like these highs and lows, and like in these things, like my thoughts were like very like Chloe centric, like what and like, so like not like learning how to take care of myself.
Yeah, self-care goes out the window. Yeah,
self-care goes out the window. It's a little bit survival mode for parts of it, but.
You also helped when it came to like, okay, I've really got to find a place to go. You would sit and help me write down all of the research that we find on Google. These are the numbers you got to call. Encourage me to make the phone call, but otherwise my my sadness over the fact that it had all come to this was so much that he had to do most of the lifting when it came to the actual like research, because I'm just there kind of like, no, I don't, if I do it then it's real.
Yeah.
But also Andrew knew who to call when I was not in, when he would like catch me with more alcohol. He knew to call my sister Justine, who I lost in 2024, but she was also an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And so just like little things like that, those are the things
Also,
that stand out.
I remember guilt. Like, remember when you like, I can't remember like what the details are, but like, I think you were at Toronto Western, and then you like you weren't going to go to like you were supposed to go to like what was the name of that?
Women's Own?
Women's Own, yeah. You're supposed to go to Women's Own, but you were like you were like drinking. You got kicked out of a bar earlier.
Yeah.
And then like I was just like, all right, we're just gonna like, they can't take you for another couple hours, and you want it. I'm like, all right, like, and you're like, all right, you're like insistent that you're gonna drink, and like I'm just like hanging out there, and it's like, well, we shouldn't. If you want, I'll come. And you're like, it's like 11 o'clock. Also, like, where are you gonna drink, or like. And you try to go to the bar where you'd just been kicked out of.
And they're like, no, get out.
No, get out. And then, yeah. So I was kind of like that, like a physical embodiment of her like, of like that guilt, of like the guilt of the like, oh, like I shouldn't be doing this. I think, well, yeah. I think like, I don't know. I remember like you said that, remember that like you were up at, your friend's, up north, like, and you were, and like it was like an hour walk from this is a later relapse. This is
yeah. Up in Caledon. This is getting close to my last drink ever. Yeah. And I was really ill, and I called you.
Yeah.
I remember that, and you were like, "Well, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah. Like, I remember like thinking like just like building as many like. One idea I was proud of was just building as many off ramps as possible to like, okay, yeah, you're gonna go get a drink, but like, you know what? If you decide not to, like on the way, don't like all the black, like trying to break up the black and white thinking, try to like have like the like, okay, well, if you're you know, there's always like a way to kind of go off this, right? Like one, like, you know, like if you decided to do this, or if you know. If you like, it doesn't have to be like you have literally an hour walk to the liquor store. Like, does it? Yeah. Like, do you have like, you don't have to, like, you can like rethink things along the way. Like, you don't have to like, once you've committed, you're like, I'm just 100% like down for this. Like, you know, allow your own like kind of, you know, give yourself as many like off ramps as possible, I guess.
Yeah, like hope. There's more than one answer to this problem.
Yeah, right? Or even just jogging that brain to be like, think about all of the ways. It's almost like taking like alcoholics love to be like sneaky and manipulative, but it's like, how can you be sneaky and manipulative like against your own instincts or your own impulses? Maybe that'll work.
I remember like I never tried to catch, like I knew that you were sneaking around, like that you were sneaking alcohol. I mean, like I didn't know like officially, but I never made an attempt to like catch you.
Yeah.
Like, and I told you that, like, I was like, I don't know if this was, but like instinctually, I think I was like, you're getting some enjoyment from like the fact that like I'm beating you at this thing, and I'm like, I'm not even trying to play.
You're like, yeah, this is kind of obvious.
You can, yeah. I mean, like also what I mean, I think like addicts or like they think that like they're this, they can like fake it. They think that like they're the same person like from before to after, when clearly
they're the outside, your mannerisms, your voice, so much of you.
And so like I learned at some point that like if I'm just like feeling shitty and nervous, then like she's probably drinking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we think we can hide it, right? Like, well, from everybody. And you know, I was thinking about this the other day, but I had this experience with benzodiazepines a lot, which act on the same receptors as alcohol. But the thing with benzos is, when it used to happen to me is you would get so high and you would think that you were sober on them. This is the one drug that kind of makes you feel a sense of sobriety. And I would go home and talk to my wife after a night of partying and taking benzos to come down, and I would start talking like this, and it was like a normal, and I would talk like that at 8 in the morning. Yeah. And she would start to film me after a while, because I would literally think that I was normal. She's like, you're slurring your words. I'm, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? She would start to video me secretly, and I would watch the video back. It's like, oh, like, who is this person? I had no idea. I thought I was hiding it from everybody.
Yeah.
I remember one time Andrew telling me how, and of course this kind of thing like sticks. He's like, I can usually tell within the first couple minutes of a phone call which Chloe I'm talking to. Yeah. Even though I would call thinking like, I haven't had that many yet. I'm in a good place. I'm just going to like charm the pants off of him and go and hang out. But he could already kind of like maybe hear it sometimes. But yeah, it's that belief that.
Well, it's also like a danger signal, right? It's like your gut. It's like
Just know
like
you're not.
like okay, all right, this is
Hi,
and even
Chloe.
if you don't recognize it like explicitly or fully consciously, it's still like yeah. And then learning that meant that like, oh, something's up.
Yeah.
But then also like sometimes I could tell that you were like drinking more during the phone call, and you would talk for a long
We like to
time.
talk when we're high.
Yeah, we really do.
We're drunk.
Yeah. You know what?
Hi,
I'm gonna smooth the situation over. I can talk my way out of this situation.
Yeah,
by-
the more I talk,
by
the
just-
better it'll get,
just
right?
through more me.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a sideshow. You're literally spinning plates. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just 100%. And it's exhausting. It gets
Yeah.
exhausting. So, okay, walk me through was he there on the last day that you went
No,
into
he was
treatment
not there. We had not been dating for a time now. And to get there, but to go back, another way that he helped, there was, he's hitting a limit. I'm hitting a limit. It's building to this. I'm supposed to go to like a sort of shelter or place down on Richmond Street, I want to say, by the Paramount Theater, Scotiabank, whatever it's called now. And I'm drinking. I like try to get in this place. Of course, all it takes is like one thing to be a little too difficult. And I just go, oh, I guess it's not meant to be. So then I leave and I get in this cab and I drink tequila in the cab, and the cab driver catches me and he goes, okay. And I'm like, I just got to go back to Andrew's. What else am I going to do? I tried. I told him I tried. So he like takes me back to Andrew's, but I give him this like so much money because otherwise he's going to like call the police or whatever. And I'm outside your door. This is what I remember anyway. I'm outside your door. I'm trying to find your keys to get the fuck back inside. Thinking to myself, like, good, I'll take a little break. I'll get more alcohol. But you're there and you open the door because you can hear me being a fool on the other end of it. And you just, this look on your face was just, okay. And it was like, that's it.
Here we
You
go
just
again.
like, yeah, you're like, called the Uber. You got in the Uber with me.
Yeah.
You took me to
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
right.
hospital. You're like, this is it. And I was like, is this over? You're like, I don't know. I'm not answering any of your questions.
Yeah.
Is it over? Are you gonna leave me? Like always, every time it's just like run away with that until the consequences come, and then it's, oh my god, I just remembered what I matter, or like what I care about.
Yeah.
But now it's too late. But anyway, he drops me off at the hospital. I had like the one and only true blue, really severe, long, drawn out psychotic break where I thought I was in an episode of Superstore. I could see the people from the show there, like total hallucination, auditory, visual, wild, like very, very vivid, real. And they were like strapping me into a wheelchair, and I just kept trying to escape and cackle in the lobby of this hotel or whatever lobby because I thought I was like a part of this episode where we're creating a distraction.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to even like tell Andrew that story because I was so embarrassed. Actually, it didn't take me as long as I thought it would because I like ended up at Women's Own,
which is a treatment center, by the way.
yeah,
right?
this is the Detox, right? A detox center. And at some point, it was just sort of like really the beginning of the end. Certainly, I had more relapses in me, but I know from my story that this was where things started to change. I met like a nurse in that hospital who, in a moment, said like, I know exactly what this is. You can do this. I have 7 years. You can do this. And it was like really incredible. But yeah, the break, I talked to Andrew. Andrew goes to Berlin. There had even been talk of me potentially going with you because I had been able to maintain some semblance of sobriety.
Yeah.
But then that quickly fell away. You went to Berlin anyway, but you would call me from Berlin while I was in a detox center. And the way that helps an alcoholic like me, especially after just being through what I considered to be my most humiliating episode of thinking I was in that episode of Superstore in public, like the fact that you were like off on this fabulous trip, but you didn't forget about me. I still mattered as a person.
Yeah.
You still checked in because you're like, you're probably sad, lonely, scared. But the fact that it was like you shared pictures of the beautiful things you saw. You treated me like a normal person in a bad situation.
Yeah.
And that helps in ways that are priceless, like invaluable.
Yeah.
This is keeping that self-esteem, what little is left, even slightly intact enough for me to make a small effort to make something of my life.
The thing that does too, just to interject, because I had a woman sitting on the couch here that reminded me her husband was doing similar things. It shows you that like this is what life is.
Yes.
Right. Like this is you're missing out on this right now, but it's not a sort of like you're fucking missing out, you idiot. It's not a condescending thing. It's like this is what you could have if you just start to recover.
And even that person being like, I'd like you to be here, even though you treated me like crap and are no fun to be around when you drink. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing thing to do for someone.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, like, I think I was like somewhat aware, not like, I don't know. I always treated you like a person. Like,
yes.
I think I also, was when you were talking about that, I remember I attended like one Al-Anon meeting, like, during that time. I think I got the idea from another friend of yours. I can't remember her name. Cassidy is. Oh
yeah. This is another normie friend who also was like.
But she is like familiar with like she was like anyways I remember like the line that spoke to me so much was I asked the moderator or the chair, and it was like, in your experience, like what, and she had like a story that was beyond like what I could even fathom, but he's like, what in your experience like leads people to get better? And she's like, honestly, just losing things like is like that's the and like that real. I mean, like it gave me that one also gave me the I was gonna say courage, but also just the understand, just like the belief that like, okay, like that, like she won't like either. I'm not in control of like what she does after like I let go of her, like but like if I end this relationship, or if, like, then like that who knows, it might help.
It might be the one thing
it might be.
I say that to people all the time. By staying with this person, you could be preventing another rock bottom that they need to hit. Right? You could be. I love that. It's so simple. Get someone to help. Losing things. Yeah.
You're like, well, I know it's going to hurt her if I walk away.
Just losing things that you start. There's a thing in the literature that says a definition of rock bottom is when the thing you just lost or the thing you're about to lose is of greater value to you than alcohol. This, you're about to lose something or you just lost something that means more to you than alcohol, kids, family, whatever. Right. Yeah. So we got to land this plane here. Okay. I guess, where are you guys at today? Like, talk about, like, how did you mend this relationship? I know you probably can't do that quickly, but like, how did that mend?
Well, Andrew's willing to stick around, and
he's a fighter, I can tell.
Oh yeah, this guy. Real, maybe.
I mean, I prefer endurance sports.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So is recovery. So right. No, but dude, seriously, you're a fighter. Like all the people out there that are listening that are dealing with a loved one, and like you're fighters, man. Yeah, this is not easy. Yeah, my wife, my parents,
and we're sorry. Oh my god. But okay. So I definitely wanted to get back with Andrew. I wanted to mend things. I ended up meeting someone else. Tried that. It all just remained honest. And that didn't end up working out. And I still have this like love for Andrew, of course. And I have to be honest with myself and ask how much of this love is like, you really want to be with this person, or how much of it is that like, it will signify to me that I made it in the end, or like I didn't lose it all. See, or like, I'm better now. It's like, how much of it was him? How much of it is, are you in love with your recovery? How much but I'm so incredibly grateful that Andrew stayed at all, because you certainly didn't give him any reasons to by the end there. And just remained honest and like remained close.
And also our the gym routine that we get
to see each other once a week.
We see each other in like a healthy like setting of us getting better, and and shout out to our trainer D.
Our trainer D. We told him we talk about him on the podcast today.
We told him we'd shit talk him.
But it's hard because he's
not working.
But yeah, just like honesty, and like we like each other. Like there's
quite a lot.
So like
good humor and like and just real love.
Yeah.
And eventually,
Frankly, like for all the difficulty that she went through, and for all the difficulty that I went through, in that, like, it was also a transformative experience for my life. And like I found, I'll try to make this quick, but I found that, like, my life was going downhill in a pernicious, slow way, and her life was going downhill in a dramatic way. And like seeing that and dealing with that, and realizing like the opportunities seeing all the opportunities for like a better life that she was like, passing by, and like realizing that kind of applied to me too, kind of informed me of, and like gave me the push to like make some changes in my life as well. So I think that we're always going to, I mean, no matter what happens, we're always going to be like a part of the biggest, perhaps one of the biggest moments, or biggest like periods, and most transformative periods in our life. So that's something that nothing can change.
You can't buy that. You can't. Right. It's priceless, right?
Yeah, honestly, like, I love Andrew platonically, just in that universal, all-encompassing way. And he and I are both in relationships now, but just remain friends. But I got really lucky. Yeah,
that's
I got really lucky.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming down and getting vulnerable, guys. I appreciate it. And
this felt awesome.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, recovery addiction can trickle out and hurt the people we love, but so can recovery too, right? Yeah. And then, so I appreciate that you have that perspective now. It's beautiful, man.
Me too.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.